Hey guys, what's up? My name's the Cool Mike and welcome back with another video. But today I'm not gonna be playing a game. I'm gonna be doing a video that I haven't done for a while, which is making a tag video where I'll be answering about a few questions. And this is what from the title of this video, you guys already know what this is about. This is a Dungeons and Dragons or D&D tag video where I'll be answering questions about Dungeons and Dragons. So this is a tag video. If you guys want to answer the questions with me, I'll be leaving the link in the description. I'll be leaving the questions in the description down below, as well as the link where this video actually came from. The idea came from Ginny D, what you call a YouTuber and a D&D D&D lover as well. She created this D&D tag with Mark Holmes, which is the Dungeon Master of High Rollers. So if you guys want to watch that video where I got this idea, I'll be leaving her link and her video in the description down below where you guys can watch her video and do the D&D tag where this video is actually based from. Alright, so I'll be answering Dungeons and Dragons questions basically. So first question is, what was your first D&D character? I actually don't have a D&D character. I never played Dungeons and Dragons. I never played Dungeons and Dragons as a player. I always played as a Dungeon Master because it's a lot fun for me to create a world for my players. So basically, currently I'm hosting a game which is the Mythical Lore, which I'll leave that in the link where I'll be leaving that in the link in the description down below. So basically, I'll leave the link of that series in the description down below. If you guys want to watch it, that's my campaign with players. So I never have a D&D character. I always am and will be a dungeon master. So that doesn't apply to me. Next question. Which D&D class is your least favorite to play, or do you not want to play? I would say spellcaster. Whether it's a wizard or a sorcerer. I'm terrible at memorizing spells. Normally when my players use spells, I have to look it up every now and then because I don't have them memorized. So anything that involves spells I'm terrible. Normally I'm the type of character who just likes to hit things, basically. A barbarian or a berserker, something like that. Or even a rogue. So I'm terrible at remembering and memorizing spells. So that's my least favorite class when it comes to becoming a player. If I do play D&D as a player, it would be a wizard or a sorcerer or any spellcaster that has tons and tons of spells. Next question would be, what D&D spell would you most want to have in real life? That's a cool one. What D&D spell would you want to have in real life? It's either invisibility. That's a cool one. Invisibility would be cool because I can go invisible. If you want something more complex or complicated, it would be, let's see, invisibility. I don't know. Resurrection. I could bring people back to life, so that's cool. So yeah, if I was a cleric, resurrection would be cool. That's something the doctors should probably have I'm not a doctor, but something a doctor could probably put to use if you are one. Alright, so next question is, what's your favorite D&D monster? Ooh. Technically, D&D monster would probably be an ancient elder dragon, basically the typical. I'm not gonna go beyond because I don't have all the monsters on the monster manual memorized. A dragon, basically just a red elder adult ancient or red ancient dragon, basically. Or no, probably an ancient black dragon because I like black. So yeah, let's go with that. Ancient black dragon. I like the black scales type thing. Let's go with that. Something simple but cool. Ancient. If you want something other than a dragon, I really don't know. A mind flare would be creepy. Something that can read minds. Mind flare. Yeah, Mind Flare, basically. What's your favorite NPC villain that you encountered or created? Ooh, this is nice. I created NPC. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. An NPC that I created. So, I created an NPC. I'm not sure if I'm not sure I have created NPC or villain, right? It says NPC or villain. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question. NPC or villain? My favorite NPC or villain, let me just check my notes. Because I created a lot of NPCs, and obviously villains for my... my favorite villain is gonna be... I'm not sure if I could say this because my players have not encountered this character. My favorite NPC is a person named Marius Van Dran. So I'll have a picture of him on the screen, basically. So Marius Van Dran, basically, that's his name. That's my favorite NPC and villain. Villain. He's a villain, basically, that I created. Actually, there's a lot. It's hard to choose. There's also Van Grell, the Jawbreaker, which is a villain. There's Van Grell. Yeah, basically that. So far, that. But yeah, it's either Van Grell, the Jawbreaker, or Marius Van Dran. Those are villains. So one is a human. I'm not gonna tell too much because if my players do end up watching this, they might spoil because this is something that they have not encountered yet. And there's this orc named Van Grell, the Jawbreaker. So those are villains. Alright, next question is, has one of your characters ever died and what killed them? Oh yes, on episode 10, one of my players on my season, a wizard, who was a servant of Kord. His name is Saul. That's his character's name. He died because he was killed by a necromancer. By a necromancer, basically. And they tried to kill the necromancer. The necromancer killed him with, I think, a powerful spell, basically. Next question is, what's your best natural 20 story? I never, natural 20, I don't have a best natural 20. Basically every natural 20 is the best, basically. Rolling a natural 20 is already the best. I don't know, the best natural 20? I mean, when my players roll natural 20 against things, it's amazing, basically. But I don't remember the best, basically. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't remember any particular reason. And the next question is, what's your best natural 1 story? Natural 1. No, I don't also remember anything, basically. I don't remember a funny moment. But yeah, it sucks when you roll a natural 20. Or natural 1, sorry, rather. Next question is, what's the highest level you ever played a character to? What's the highest level you ever played a character to? I never played D&D as a player, so I don't know. My players are currently level 7, I think. They're currently level 7, so that's that. Or level 8, 7 or 8. So yeah, that's probably the highest so far that I played with players. Next question is, what's your favorite magical item? Oh, the tough questions, guys. Favorite magical item. I would say favorite magical item? Favorite magical item. I don't know. It would be a sword. A fire tongue would be cool. A fire bladed sword. A fire tongue, is that what you call it? I'm not sure if that's what you call it. A Fartang D&D Fartang. I think that's what you call it. Yeah, it would be a Fartang sword. Yeah, that would be my favorite. A sword that could lit in flames, basically. A Fartang sword. There you go. That's the easiest answer I could tell, basically. If you had an in real life alignment, what would it be? I would be neutral good, I would say. Neutral good. Yeah, I would be neutral good if I was an NPC, or if I have an alignment in real life, I'll be a neutral good. So basically, well, technically no, I'll be lawful neutral, now that I think about it, because I have to follow the rules. I'll be lawful neutral, so yeah. So I still have to follow the law, basically, the government law in real life. So yeah, I'll be lawful neutral, but if the law is too much, like, you know, basically, basically when if the law is against human rights, then technically I will have second thoughts of following it. So yeah. Next question is, if you had to date one of your characters, which one would you pick? Oh, I don't play D&D as a character, or I don't play D&D as a player. I play it as a dungeon master. So if it has to be one of my players, that's gonna be weird. I don't know, honestly, because I never played D&D as a player. But because I watch other people play D&D, I don't want to date my players because that's gonna be weird. But if I had to date one, I would say, let's say, I have a character who is a rogue elven woman, or a half-elf rogue, and a blood hunter. So I'll date her because she's a half-elf, and half-elves, or she's an elf, and elves are pretty. There you go. Elves are pretty. Yeah. Another question is there a character you want to play but haven't had a chance to play yet? I mean, technically, if I was gonna be a player for a game, I don't plan to play a D&D as a player. I always like to play it as a dungeon master because for me it's fun to be a dungeon master. You get to create a story and characters and all. But if I get to play a D&D and I will have to have a character, I will have a gunslinger like Percy from Critical Role. So I will have that basically as a character. I would name the character with my name, basically, my real life name, and yeah. But technically, I prefer playing D&D as a dungeon master rather than a player. DM always. So next question is, are you a dice goblin or a dice minimalist? So I'm guessing this question is someone who buys a lot of dice, because I've seen people who had a freaking KFC bucket, a bucket full of dice, because it's colored stones apparently, and it looks pretty when you collect them. Or a dice minimalist. Technically, I have 6 or 7 sets of dice. Technically, I have 6 or 7 sets of dice, even though as a dungeon master. I'm not a dice goblin, probably, if that's what people call it, someone who buys a lot of dice. So this is my dice bag, and as you guys could see, I'm not sure if you guys could see it. It's a small bag. It's not even full. So there's at least 7 sets. There's black, the typical colors. There's 2 purples. 2 purple sets of dice, 1 red, 1 black, 1 gray, 1 blue, and pretty much that's it. I'm not a dice goblin. Technically, as a dungeon master or a player, you only need 1 set, unless you're the type of people who likes rolling a lot of dice when you have a powerful spell. So yeah, I'm a dice minimalist because I'm not a person who likes to buy tons of dice. It is I like buying a lot of things, but dice is not one of them. Unfortunately, not one of them. Alright, Last but not the least is what rule or mechanic have you never quite wrapped your brain around? Basically, there's a lot of rules. I'm still new to Dungeons and Dragons. Even though I'm a DM, I'm still getting used to knowing and memorizing the rules. Although that's not gonna happen because I'm terrible at memorizing them. The rule and mechanic that I always forget is basically how spells work. Basically, I hate memorizing spells. So I'm terrible at memorizing spells. Every time my player has to use a spell, I have to look it up just to be sure that I'm doing the right thing because I am terrible at memorizing spells. So the mechanics in terms of spells and their description, how they work, spell slots, all that kind of junk so far, I'm having a hard time memorizing. Sometimes I think I just realized in one of my games, I forgot that some spells only last for 1 minute, some spells last for 1 hour. Basically, I forgot that sometimes if you guys watch my campaign, which is Mythical Lore, sometimes there are spells that my players cast that I forgot that they only last for 10 rounds. So, and then I end up making them last for an hour because I'm terrible at memorizing spells, especially those that have duration, because it hurts my brain when you have to keep up a lot of things, basically. So yeah, I think those are all the questions. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 questions basically. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy watching me do the Dungeons and Dragons or D&D tag. If you guys enjoy it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe now. It helps me out a lot. Shows that you support my content and my channel. Let me leave a comments down below what your answers would be on these questions. I'll be leaving the questions of this video on in the description down below, as well as the video where I got this idea, which is from Ginny D, where she did this video with Mark Holmes, the DM for High Rollers, which is another D&D game that I watch on YouTube. I'll be leaving that so you guys could watch them do the tag as well, where I got this idea. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Leave the comments down below what your answers would be for these questions, and I'll be happy to read and respond to them. And yeah, as always, I will see you guys next time with another brand new video. This is the Cool Mike signing off. Goodbye.